Bobby Fish Gun here. How's it going, kid? Jim here. Take that dang crap off. No more of the decorations, folks. We're tired of this crap. What a artificial society. Arr. Okay, Jim. I'm speaking some truth around here. Now I'm tired of this crap. You're all brainwashed.
That's right, Jim.
That's better, Dave.
Settle down, Jim.
Dave, tell me the story about... Well, I just saw a Generation X video that's quite inspired to kick some ass.
Yeah.
Bobby Fish Gun is channeling the spirit of Dave here.
Okay. Sit back here, man. Sit back here. I'll put you over here. Stacy, we might need you to stand by. Stand by. So, nope. So, we're talking about the next generation. So, we got the generations of kids here.
Glasses, Dave. They want to see your eyes, Dave. They want to see the truth in your eyes. Arr!
Settle down. So, thanks, Jim. Thanks. Bobby Fish Gun here. It's been a long time, so folks. Soaks. It rained a lot last night. That's probably why I said that. So, watching Generation X, talking about the privileged society we grew up. Let's just get right to it. A white privileged society. All this clown talk going on. Yeah. Clown talk on. Let me tell you the games we played. Still got a little tricep left there. It's not very good lighting either. Look at that thing bounce. Look at that. It's a little bit masculine, isn't it? I could do a dance with that. So anyway, let's see. This is a historic shirt. This is Bobby Fish Gun. Told ya. And then we got in Jet Trails We Trust here. I made this shirt about 3 years ago when I was showing how to make some of my homemade lures. But anyway, that's another different story. What I wanted to talk about was, sit up here, Jim. Society today. It's always about society. My lady's tired of it. You know what I'm saying, Dave? The society today, we have a new generation upon generation. We have generations within generations. All in the new sensations of indoctrination. Anyway, let's go to real history here. Where did I come from? Well, I'm just about 60 years old. Believe it or not. And I could probably, just throw this in, I could probably do more chin-ups at the playground than any of you new generations out there, except for the ones that work out. But the other couch potato, computer video game play, I could probably do more chin-ups than any and more push-ups. 60 years old. So I might not have, I have as many teeth as you. But what do we do when we grew up? How are we privileged? Let's see. Also, this generation, through political media means, has ripped open any, well, there was a lot of healing going on. I personally could say that within what people would say about race differences, ethnicities. Growing up in my society with real people, not what the news told you. Man, when I was a kid, not me getting off topic, we sat down with old people on the porch that we respected. When we played on the streets, the old people were on their porch after dinner. They'd see us. We were their entertainment. And if they said, you're doing it, hey, then we stopped doing that. If you're being obviously destructive and the old person said to stop doing it, you stopped doing it. You respected your old people. if they were respectable old people, which they were. We had 80-year-old people on the porches. We had a nice couple next to us. I remember on that street. Perfect play street, too. That street was great for kids. It was small. It had a church. It had a cemetery in the back that they didn't cut the grass in for a long time. So we played Army in there, climbed up the trees, literally jumped out of this pine tree. It's a cedar tree. And it would wave at the tip at the top. You could see it all over the front of the town. I remember I was up there with a girl. She's a tough girl, too. She was a tough girl. Yeah. So we went up there in the tree, and we were swinging in the tree. And hardly anybody came back that cemetery. It had one U-turn and one going straight to the back. And a gravel path. And we pulled in from the street. Every once in a while, a car would come there and visit. So we're up in the tree, looking over, laughing. We climbed up in the tree together. And here comes this car pulled up below, and they're looking at a tombstone. It's like 20 feet away, and they're underneath of us. We're up in that tree for about 20 minutes trying to stand still because the tip was real narrow where we're at, and it was starting to bend with us up there, and we're like, oh, crap. But anyway, when they finally left, we jumped down out. It was like a 50-foot drop down through the pines. Like that Rambo, like a Rambo thing. And we went down through there and come out, and you got all the itchies on you. So we had to pull the itchies off of each other. That was a lot of fun. I pulled the itchies off of her, and she pulled the itchies off of me. And then we went off back home again. And, yeah, what else did we do when we were kids growing up as privileged white kids? We didn't call ourselves white kids. You call us white kids. What else? So, it was 1970. Even before that, I was in kindergarten at 1968, 69. So, in 1970, when I was just old enough to run back and forth quicker, we lived near the school. And the new thing was, because I was in Philadelphia, I was at the edge of Philadelphia. And our school was shipping in people from in the inner city, and they were of different color. Let's just call them African American or black people, okay? I don't know what we called them back then. So they were from the McKinsey School. Yes, it was a real school. So the McKinsey School was to bust them up here, to give them more opportunities, supposedly. That was the thing back then. Bring them up out, give them, for whatever reasons, I don't know if they merited it because they had A's, B's, and C's or what. I don't know. So they come up. Let's see how much time we have. They come up in the buses, and we all treat them great. We were told, treat them good. McKinsey can make them feel welcome. And we did. This is back in 1970s. So what did we do? My parents, hold on, Jim, you're getting a little stiff looking.
Our parents had them come over. They were my friends. We had an Indian kid named Maz, and we had Deke, the black-eyed Deke. Kid was strong, man. It's the only kid beat me, picked me up, put me in a helicopter spin, threw me on the gym mat. I still like him, but he's all right. And he helped me up afterwards. Then there was Kevin Threadgill. That was his name. If you're watching, Kev, you know, we had a great time.
So my mom and then we had some
black girls came there too. And they didn't all get along together either. But they came in, everybody made them welcome. I mean, most people did, you know, people are people. But we had a good time. And then at lunchtime, I invited them over to my house. Yeah, me. You know, the little white boy, invited him over to the house unoffendedly. And my mom made sandwiches and prayed over the food because we came from a Christian family. So, tell him the rest, Dave. My jaw's getting stiff, Dave. Your finger keeps slipping. I know.
So, wake up time for all you that have been indoctrinated by the news.
Ow.
Rib cramp. What do you get, older kids, and your injuries come back from them softball games. Oh, that's another topic. You see, yeah. You see, the old softball games. How did we do it? Back when we were kids, we didn't have computer games. No, we had to pick teams. You went outside when you had the time, whether it be after dinner, after you got your homework done. You went outside and you saw whoever was out there. Hey, Jimmy, you want to play softball? No, I got to go to the game. And then anyway, you find people saying, all right, call them. You call them, yo, we're playing a game. Right? And they run up the street or they have to go eat dinner or whatever. You would gather the kids. How did you get a team started? How did you get a team? Huh? Generations, new generations. This is how you get a team. You didn't pick them by the skin color. There was no privileged people. When you get a bunch of people together, you have the captain of the team, okay? Usually they're the big kids. Gary or Eddie, or Kevin. Kevin's a big name. I'll use that. It's a big sounding name. And then you pick your teams by how good you knew that they played before. Or you guess if you didn't know them. That guy looks tough. He looks like he can hit a ball, So you picked, I'll take him. And that's how you made your teams. You didn't say, this kid came from a day, I'm going to have to pick him. I don't want to hurt his feelings. No, you wanted the team to win, okay? Not that you were making money, but that's what you did. That's what nature does. So, you get your teams. So the kids that ain't as good, they want to be better next time, so they put a performance on it. You keep getting better, and you keep picking your teams. Or you might want to try something else. And there was even times where, okay, we got enough good guys on. They got more good guys. You take the slow guy. We even had like a natural kindness to fair. All right, take the slow kid because we got two really fast guys. They've got two of the best. We'll take Todd. Todd is we'll take him, make him feel good. He's on the team. Yeah, Todd, cheer him on, That's what we did. We picked kids like Todd, too. But you always pick the good ones first. All right? Anyway, how much time you got? This is enough for your mind to absorb from a indoctrinated society. Anyway.
Dave, I don't know how much more they can take of this. They're so dang indoctrinated. They're like they're in a pickle jar with the lid sealed. We gotta crack it soon before they get totally pickled. And
yeah, I know, Joe. I know. So anyway, in lunchtime, we had my mom would make sandwiches. If you're offended by my mom making sandwiches because she's a woman, too bad, too damn bad. My dad was at work. He worked second shift till midnight. I didn't see him much of the time. I saw the back of his car going down the street at about 3:30 in the morning in the afternoon when I was coming home from school. I'd see my dad's taillights going down the street. That's how much I saw my dad on a weekday. Sundays we went to church. Sunday nights we ended up going to church. By the time we were in the new church, I was going to church 5 times a week. Soul winning and all. That's a whole other story. But anyway, what kind of games did we play on the street? We played softball in the church parking lot, hardball in the church parking lot too. And that was the church I went to. It was a Baptist church. It was just a basic Baptist church. Nice, fun, social place. We believed in Jesus dying on the cross for our sins and all that stuff. That's where my religious beliefs came from. But it was a good place. It was a good place. Of course, my beliefs changed over time after 40 years of... anyway, this is about how I grew up. So we played Army in the cemetery behind the church, especially when the grass was tall and they didn't cut it. Tombstones were back into the 1700s. And we had a driveway between the church and the apartments where we played wiffle ball. We played wiffle ball, we played half ball, We played frisbee. We played a game called, it was called Chink. And as far as I know, it was called Chink because of the way you hit the ball. That's all I know. So, YouTube is going to do something about that. Too bad. What an offended society. And, yeah, we'd hit the ball and you'd allow so many bounces to get the wall and back. It was like handball with your hand and a tennis ball against the wall. Well, the apartment people who lived on that side got mad and they would call the police on us because, you know, it was going into their wall sometimes. The sound. Boom, 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 boom. So, especially when we played wall ball. Wall ball was in between the driveway and the church parking lot. You either throw the tennis ball real hard at the wall on the apartments. That's when they called the police on us, really. Bounce back, and everybody would run and catch that ball. We played that at school, too. Wall ball. We were fit back then. We were pretty much fit. If you're naturally athletic, there wasn't a lot of overweight people. A few people had a problem. But most people were you're always doing something. So you maintained a weight that was a naturally healthy weight. So we played hardball in the church parking lot. And sometimes that ball flew over and would hit Mr. Dunhauser's window. Jeez. Yeah, it hit the car one time. We're gonna have to pay for it. Jim, show him how to. Who hit that ball to the glass of my back window? You're gonna have to pay for that. Davey, was it you? You're gonna have to come up the ladder here and repaint my windows for me. I'm getting dizzy spells. You can do it. Yeah. I remember. Yeah, he was a nice guy, too. I'd sit on the porch, talk to Mr. Dunhauser. And he had a mountain place. That's a whole other story. He took me to the mountain place. First time I shot, and his son, a little older than me, he was a big kid in the neighborhood. First time I shot a 357 Magnum and a 22. But that 357 Magnum, yeah. And I went fishing by the pond. I had poison ivy so bad on my forearm. Never had it that bad. Covered my whole forearm. And I went up there fishing. It was oozing. I was fishing by the lake and the flies were chasing me. And they coming back to the house. I had to run back to the house because they were all chasing me because I was oozing. But anyway, that's how privileged I was. It was a privilege to go up to the mountains with Mr. Dunn. And then, what else? The church services, what else? I had Cub Scouts. Cub Scouts was held in that church. I cried to get into the Cub Scouts. And a couple months later, I was crying, Mom, I don't want to go anymore. Let me out. And I was allowed out of the Cub Scouts. Yeah, I didn't even want to get into the Weeblos. Weeblos were the next step. And the Weeblos would come down the street in their blue uniforms with the yellow badge. And all the kids on the street that were in gangs and stuff, like down the hill, they were in gangs down there. We were afraid of it. The down the street gang is on the hook side of the road behind the cemetery. We're scared of them kids. They come walking up the street. There's the Brook Tourist Gang. Can't run in your house. But anyway. You remember that? No, you weren't around then. So I forget what I was saying. Yeah, and then when we were playing back the cemetery, when we were little, there was a gate. You could squeeze your head through the gate when we were like 6, 7 years old. There's a chain on it. You lift the chain just right, spread out, you squeeze through. And we got older, you had to climb the fence. And you go back behind up the wiffle ball alley between the church and the apartments, run back in the center of the fence, and you jumped over the fence. You climb up and jump over. Yeah. And then there was a mockingbird there was a catbird in there, and it didn't like me going over there. Didn't like me jumping up. So I know I'm missing something. Anyway, that's how we grew up. Oh, and down the street we walked. I was the only one that the Park Terrace gang, they didn't mind me. I walked down the hill. Oh, that hill was where we sledded too, at the bottom of the street before the Terrace gang. And then there was a set of woods that went through there, and then it went under the Avenue Bridge, the main road down there. And then I went down to the creek and fished. I fished it miles up, 3 miles up, 3 miles back down again. I had a 6-pack. I had a 6-pack, a 6.5-pack, abdominis erectus. And I would have a bag. My dad gave me a gray Red Cross bag. It was gray with a cross symbol on it. And it had one strap, and I hung it over there. I felt like I was like David Carradine in Kung Fu, because it was like, it was a one single and strapping around one. And I had like little magic potions in there. I'd bring it out of the bag and drink my little sip of green drink back then. Take me for the rest of the day. And then I had a quart of iced tea that I would make. That notification off my screen. That I would make a quart of iced tea from an old orange juice container that I kept. And I would make an instant iced tea real fast, and I'd make 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and put them in that gray Red Cross bag. And then that would last me all day. And I'd still come home thinner on the walk back than when I started out in the morning. In the morning, I'd just have a bowl of cereal. We just ate before we went to school or anything. We didn't eat what this generation eats today. We had a bowl of cereal, usually Wheaties, shredded wheat. None of that sugar cereal unless we went to Mom and Pop-Pops. That's where we had the corn pops and the crispy snaps, sugar snaps. Yeah. And you had a whole box of assorted packets in there, you know. You fight over it. Who's going to get this and that? But anyway, yeah, it was Wheaties, corn flakes, and you had a bowl. It wasn't even a big bowl. And we were only allowed, Dad would only allow us 2 spoonfuls of sugar. He'd watch it. He'd be sitting across from me. Sure, it's just 2. I'm going to show you how to sprinkle. He'd show us how to sprinkle the sugar on this. Go around like that, and you kind of. Why, one more. See, looking, can we get 3? You wouldn't even dare try to sneak and get 3. Not in front of Dad. You're not going to sneak. You didn't even sneak 3 when he wasn't. Maybe when he wasn't there, I might have put. I put an extra half, 2.5 when he wasn't there. Sorry, Dad. But yeah, it was always 2 teaspoons of sugar. Which time we got? 23. I guess that's enough. And then my whole thing. My first job, I worked in the city. Fairmount Park. And I went in there with some kids from schools. I went to an agriculture high school. That's what it was called. Anyway, when we went in there, there's just a few of us white boys, privileged white boys. We went in there, and we were working with these black guys from all the age up to 65. All shapes, sizes, and shades, okay? And we went in there and they made so much fun of these new white guys. There was only like 6 of us or something. What a fun time they had with us. The rest of that story will be coming up later. Yes, we became brothers, and some of them were my big brothers. And we went to a special soul food restaurant. After a while, the other white kids, they ended up going into the tree department. So I was the only white guy left in the landscaping, cutting grass department. And, well, there was one, but he was in another district after that, something like that. So here I am, the only white guy working with it. All different age brackets. Black guys, you know, if you want to call them that. I don't know what we should call people anymore. You know what I mean? Once you confuse society. So anyway, Fridays, that's how I learned to drink too. I learned to drink in that place. I became an alcoholic, experimented with drugs. I didn't like the drugs too much though. Alcohol was my thing. So this February will be 15 years alcohol free if I get to, you know, still be here by that date. Because we never know in this world. But anyway, I'm very grateful. And I've been going in a bad way if I continue that. But anyway, so we went to this restaurant. I'm just going to tell you, this is the funny one. We went to this restaurant, and these guys were like 6'3", 6'4", and I'm this little white guy tagging along with the group. And we're going take a break at 10 o'clock, quarter after, and at lunchtime we went to the neighborhoods that were all black. And I'm this little white guy tagging along. So we went to this soul food. We went to a few different soul food. They took me to soul food restaurants. And we went to the one, I think it was called The Wheel. The Wheel Soul Food. Get it? It's the Wheel Soul Food. And it was the wheel. On the wheel. Eggs, grits, and chicken on the wheel. On the wheel. And they'd go make it, and then you get your number called. Up, you know. But anyway, and then we got this places where we got our alcohol. And on Friday, it was like we did these kind of things on Payday Friday. Anyway, that's about it. I learned from the experience. I have no regrets for all the good times and the bad times. I have no regrets for the joys and the sweats. It is what you get. So anyway, that's about it. Turn this off. You have anything to say, Jim? Yeah, I thought so. All right, there we go. Bobby Fish gun out.